Hello, my friends. This is the XRP 1-month overview reading for June 2022. It's currently May 27th, 2022, 11:34 p.m. The overall theme and behavior for XRP throughout the month of June is going to be an intentional shakeout or fake out. That's the main highlight. It's crossed with a definitive decline, but also the definitive end of a decline where we have a fast sudden move higher that marks the end of that period of decline, and that's what it's crossed with. Looks like reverse clairvoyantly we have a move higher towards the end of the month. Alright, so behavior around the high, there's going to be a lot of headwinds, and market, the street would expect the price to go downward, but it goes upward. It even possibly breaks through resistance. Behavior going into the low will be after a failed attempt to break through resistance is followed by a decline through a key support level to reach the month low or lows. On the first, we have a swing trade opportunity. We have on a one-day chart for the first, we'll have a definitive local high and a local low. And it looks like we've got price swinging. There's a support level that is highlighted, an important support level that is highlighted. And price swings. There's definite price swings. The trade lies in the price swings. The low there forms after multiple failed attempts to break through resistance. And it looks like the local high there is it forms from a fast sudden move higher that marks the end of a period of volatility. The following day, the second, looks like we have a failed attempt to break through resistance followed by a decline through a key support level. That's one of the local highs that'll be on a one-day chart for the second. The other local high from that local high, which will be we'll see some sideways rotation around that local high, and there'll be a sudden dip or sharp dip within that period of rotation out of the high there. It looks like the Prince of Swords increasing volatility as we move throughout the day to reach a local low, and it looks like we have a low in the afternoon there on the second. Possibly a bit of a rally out of the decline there as well, based on the correlation to the Knight of Cups. Also, there's a correlation there to the fake out shakeout, so likely have a fake out shakeout there on the second. That's a tricky day, guys. Ace of Swords, a day to be mindful of. On the third, we have another fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a decline on the local chart there for the third, and we sell from near overbought territory. We sell down, or there's profit taking. On the fourth, we have a definitive decline, very notable decline through multiple support levels. Looks like we have our first week's low there on the second, a second week's low there on the fourth, and possibly a week's high here at the early on the fifth. There's a decline from a high that won't be revisited within the one-day chart of the fifth. It's through support, an important support, but there's also a fast sudden move higher marking the end of a decline as correlated to the Knight of Cups. On the 6th, we have our first correlation to a month's low here. So this would be like the first low. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the lowest low, to be clear. But when we're dealing with time in the sense of this type of manifestation, if that's our first main low, it'll be there. You know what I'm saying? That's why that correlator is there. We have, looks like an important, possibly Congress is highlighted, or a not so common leader of some kind is highlighted there on the 6th. There's one local low on a chart for the 6th. And it looks at the end of the day, we have a breakout to reach. Ooh. Yeah, so we have another low on the end of the 6th, but a breakout either on the end of the 6th or the following day early. A breakout higher and possibly a gap higher or whatnot there to reach another, what looks to be another high for the week and month thus far on the 7th. Now, from that high, there's volatility. There's a period of volatility that will stand out. There'll be one sharp dip within the period of volatility on the 7th that really stands out. Towards the end of the day, though, and there's 2 trade opportunities on the 7th as well. So that looks to me to be a day trade opportunity possibly there. Yeah, so we have an overnight trade on the 1st to the 2nd, and we have a day trade on the 7th. On the 8th, we have an important price level highlighted. On a 1-month chart, an important price level is highlighted. We also have a swing trade opportunity and an important support level. So it looks like the important price level is support, whether or not we hold support. That should be the theme there on the 8th. On the 9th, we have the completion of a rally, and we have price swings with a trade opportunity in the midst of those price swings. Between the 9th and the 10th, we go from a notable trough, I should say, there on like the 10th, the morning of the 10th. We move higher. So the 10th, we fall to support, through support, and then back up to use that price level as support again. And it looks like towards the end of the day, we have that move higher. On the 11th, possibly even a month's high. Possibly the first main month's high here on the 11th. We have a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a period of rotation, sideways rotation on the 11th, and 2 trade opportunities. So what looks to be a day trade opportunity as well. So the swing trade opportunities from the 8th to the 9th, a day trade opportunity. It may be a swing trade as well. It could be like the 10th to the 11th. Matter of fact, it's likely the 10th to the 11th. We go from a low early on or midday in the morning on the 10th to a high on the 11th. With one local low on a 1-day chart for the 11th as well. Okay, so on the 12th, we have a notable decline that increases in momentum as we move forward through the day. There's an important support level that's highlighted around the local high for the day. Likely doesn't hold because we have that decline, and it looks to be a correlation possibly to a month's low here. But it's also marking a trade opportunity, a swing trade opportunity to open up a long position here to sell the following day. Looks like after a big move to the upside, possibly pushing the upper end of a range. Big move to the upside. There's a trade there. Looks like buying protection towards the end of the day on the 13th, or I shouldn't say buying protection, but shorting or somehow hedging. There's an opportunity to do so there on the 13th, but we have a low correlator for the month on the 12th and the 13th, so we could have something overnight or a low somewhere right around here towards this part of the week. It would make sense that we would have a high preceding a new moon, but then there could be a dip there. We are coming out of Mercury retrograde. There's going to be volatility throughout these first 18 days of the month, or yeah, especially the 3rd to the 18th. All right, so the following day, we have the new moon. It's the 14th, and we have a decline after reaching support, or after reaching resistance. We have a decline with spikes up on the way down, and those spikes up are lower spikes. Each consecutive spike has a lower spike. The resistance, the moving averages in bearish formation act as resistance for those spikes. And then we have that another trade opportunity here on the 14th, or on the 15th, I should say. There's some bullish price swings here, and a trade opportunity in the midst of that. And we move higher along diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance to meet a second resistance before pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. On the 16th, looks like we have a big gap higher, or a big move early in the morning higher on the 16th. We break through resistance, we stay up there briefly, and then we break back down through that price level. On the 17th, however, we successfully create new support out of resistance. On the 18th, looks like we have okay, so we have a trade on the 12th and the 13th, and then again on the end of the 13th to the 15th is another swing trade. Looks like we have another trade here on the 18th or 19th and the 19th. So it could be a swing trade or just a day trade here. We'll look a little closer. But we have on the 18th, we have the majority of the behavior is going to be bumping along resistance. You may break through one or two resistances, who knows, but the majority of the time, the price is going to be bumping along resistance. Possible trade opportunity there at the end of the day. Now we have two local lows for the chart on the 19th. I think it's two trade opportunities here, likely on the 19th as well. Okay, so we have a notable move higher out of one of the local lows that you'll see on a one-day chart for the 19th. The other local low looks like there's quite a bit of failed attempts to break through resistance near that local low, or we form a local low after failing to multiple attempts. The move higher, there's a move higher marking the end of a period of volatility as well. In the trade opportunities, there's a trade opportunity in the midst of revisiting a past problem or a past low, and then to be advised to be prudent. So I likely won't trade because it's a prudent card here. I don't like to trade around that card. We'll see. Then we have another prominent high, possibly a month's high, but I think probably just a prominent high here on the 20th. There's a decline, and out of the decline, we have a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of the decline as correlated to the Knight of Cups. So there's a notable decline and a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of that decline there on the 20th. On the 21st, we have back and forth movement 3 times crisscrossing through the same price level. We have bullish price swings and a trade opportunity in the midst of those price swings. Looks like a swing trade opportunity with another trade opportunity here the following day. We have a local high on the one-day chart for the 22nd. We revisit a crest that was a past opportunity at a local, and the local high forms there within the midst of some erratic behavior where that crest forms. There's a notable decline in here that marks an opportunity to open up a long position. It's a trade opportunity in there as well, possibly a swing trade between the 21st and the 22nd. We have a fast sudden move higher on the 23rd, with a trade opportunity out of a decline, opening a long position again in the midst of that decline, because there's a fast sudden move higher to meet to meet a support level near the high. Possible trade opportunity here on the 23rd, as day trade opportunity on the 23rd, possible day trade opportunity on the 22nd as well. Looks like we have overnight or early in the morning on the 24th, we have a month's low correlator, possibly a good cash-in opportunity here at a low. Princess of Cups, again, trade opportunity in there. So in the midst of a decline, opportunity to open a long position. and an opportunity, possible day trade opportunity to cash in on that long position when we form support near a high, one local high on a one-day chart for the 24th. On the 25th, we have a decline. Something possibly global takes place, or having to do with a global theme takes place. And we have a notable decline, a prominent decline on a 1 month chart. And there's a fake out, shakeout in there as well, as correlated to the devil card. One local low and one local high. From the local high, which will have some behavior, some sideways rotation behavior around the local high. There'll be a sudden deep dip within that period of rotation. And the local low is going to form after increasing volatility moves declining as we move forward throughout the day. On the 26th, we decline from through a support to meet a second support, and then we move sideways along that support as something headwind, something to there's some sort of worry there, obviously. And then we have a month's high correlator the following day. Looks like we failed to break through resistance, and we've declined from that failed attempt through an important support level with increasing volatility as we move forward into the day's local low. This is going to form near some intersections of important trend lines or price levels. This local high on the 27th. On the 28th, we have the full moon. We have one local high again. There's support formation there near the local high, and a trade opportunity in the midst of a decline that then turns into a rally out of a decline. On the 29th, we have sideways rotation, increasing with bullish sentiment and momentum as we move forward into the day. And then we have a breakout on the 30th, bullish breakout on the 30th, my friends. So to be succinct here, there's a couple of significant fake outs. One on the 2nd, one on the 25th. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, and then as far as highs for the month, very likely we have a prominent crest between the 4th and the 5th, a prominent crest on the 7th, most likely a month's high on the 11th. If not, it's a prominent crest, most likely a month's high. Another prominent crest, if not another high here on the 20th. And it looks like we have a prominent high on the 29th, 30th. Possibly we end the month on a high. For month's lows, we have a prominent trough on the 2nd, a prominent trough on the 4th, another prominent trough on the 9th, 10th-ish, with when we did then move higher into that high on the 11th. Prominent trough on the possibly on the 6th. Prominent trough between the 12th and the 13th. Prominent trough early on the 16th. Significant prominent trough between the 23rd and the 24th. But I would say the month's low is likely like the 12th or the 13th is my sense. And as things progress, I'll update it needs be. But guys, the following month, we think we're breaking out, but we fail to do so. It looks like we're breaking out, but we fail to do so, and then we turn around and we decline through an important support level, and then we rotate along support is the main behavior around the month of July. The S&P 500 really looks like we have a year's low there in July, guys. So be careful on these relief rallies that may be taking place in other areas as well. And that's XRP for June 2022, my friends. Let me know what you think. Let me know how this helps you. I love to see these comments, people making money. My friends, do this one thing. When you make money, pay some of that forward, my friends. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.